We figured that we're going to add a bunch of chapters to this course in the near future, so we figured we might spill a couple more free samples along the way. This one's called Claw Attack. There are two ways you can go about achieving this claw attack position. One of them is through the Berlin defense, and the other is through the Italian game. It's much more feasible to achieve this position through the Italian game. I've done a couple of games where we did achieve the claw attack through Berlin defense, but I mean, it does transpose into something along the lines of an improved Steinitz defense, but the problem with the Berlin defense variation of claw attack is that you're going to have to figure out a way to stop e4. But anyway, this is the Italian game, and then it goes into a 2-nice defense. By the way, if your opponent plays this, you always have the Traxler. The Traxler is going to be covered in the course itself, but we cannot spill that for you yet. But this portion of the Italian game overall chapter is supposed to help you when your opponent doesn't do this. Say, for example, your opponent could be playing this, and then you're going to have to come up with the setup. I've had a game like this in the past, where yeah, but anyway. So yeah, again, the move order doesn't have to be this exact move order, but I mean, you could technically play a d6 first, but as long as you get these 4 pawns lined up like this, that's your setup. And you can see your opponent would develop normally in a situation like this. This was an actual game that somebody played on Lichess, but the person was not handling the middle game very well and just edged out in the end game. So we're not gonna go through the rest of this. Instead, we're going to watch one of my games that I played. By the way, I know for a fact that the bot is really high rated and what have you, but I did get hints when I played this, so it wasn't like I was cheating with an engine or anything like that. I just had assistance from the hints and stuff. The rating of this bot was just way too high for me to just face it alone, and you know, I tend to be more of an opening guru rather than an actual like you know, somebody with an awful lot of endgame or tactical knowledge. I mean, I still study tactics an awful lot, and I still do study endgames, but my strength has always been in the opening. So this is why when I'm facing tougher opponents like this, bot opponents anyway, I do end up having to turn on hints. But in an actual over the board game, I would never do this. I'll just play the tough game as I should, just without any assistance whatsoever. I use chess noter now, so it's not like it's not like I would ever get any assistance while playing. E4, E5, knight to F3, knight C6, bishop C4, knight to F6, d3. Again, it goes into this variation of the Italian, and then h6. Again, it doesn't have to be this exact move order. We can always just we can always switch things up. There. This is the so even though this opening is very much in the gambit style, it is a bit of a system, but make no mistake, this is very attacking. It's not a positional opening at all. This isn't even a shell or a shield that you hide something behind or anything like that. You're supposed to fling these as if they're like, you know, those tackles that you see in gridiron football games where they try to like stop they try to stop the quarterback from getting sacked. They protect the quarterback. They charge at the defenders, just pushing them back and what have you. These are what the pawns are. Oh, bishop by3, bishop g7, h3, g4. You can see we're already starting out with the counterattack. Take back with the knight. I didn't really see this. Oh, sorry. I didn't really see this. I didn't know that they would do that, but by the time this happened, it was already -1, so this isn't anything scary. So I was just attacking the bishop, hoping that I would get something. But I mean, this is the one drawback when playing gambits and other counterattack openings like this. You just have to be mindful that sometimes you have to lose castling rights, and it does suck, but as you get to higher levels of chess, it doesn't suck as much, but it does kind of sting a little. That said, again, you just have to. That said, you just have to be mindful. Lots of people tend to say that, oh, you shouldn't push pawns in front of your king. You shouldn't push pawns in front of your king. That's only if you don't know opening theory, okay? Whether you should push pawns in front of your king depends on the openings. Like, say, for example, like King's Indian attack or King's Indian defense. Those openings, like, the whole point behind those openings is, like, you push a pawn storm in front of the king. That's the whole point of the opening. So it's like, to say that, oh, pushing pawns in front of the king is horrible, don't do it, oh, think twice before you push pawns in front of the king. No, it depends on the opening. It depends on the opening. Sometimes it's okay. Other times it's not. Like it's like 50-50. This opening system in particular, you are supposed to push pawns in front of a king. This is very reminiscent of the black line defense. That's why we were forming this structure from earlier. Again, it depends on the opening. King e7, we just have to be mindful that we will have to lose casting rights. But we were able to push this queen out, and we were able to win the bishop for free. There we go. b4, d5. Now we're striking back at the center. b takes e5. b takes a5, sorry. We don't have to worry about this all that much. We already have enough defense here. I mean, we could take back with the queen like this, but we could take back with a queen like this, but the queen can just be attacked by the bishop. Just the pawn can push. I opt to focus on the king side instead. Rook a b1, b5. I genuinely thought he was going to take en passant, but apparently he didn't. Rook b4, knight to f6, knight to h4. And I don't know why he would take back with the rook, because that just loses the rook for free. That's free material. He didn't sacrifice anything. Like I looked at his analysis. He has no brilliant moves. And yeah, he does have a strong attack on the king side, but like queen to f6, queen to d6. I mean, he does get close to the king eventually. He does get close to the king eventually, but I mean, attacking. You'll see why, but attacking the rook is not very good of an idea, and I do get a loft to escape towards, so it should be fine. Snack some material along the way. Again, I have a loft. I can just escape behind that. It's not like the rook is going to be in danger, because the bishop can always guard. So I can just escape like this. It's fine. He's developing the knight. I don't know what he's doing with the knights, but we have that. That's a skewer. It doesn't help for a skewer. It doesn't really help that much for a skewer, because it just results in a trade. But I do have another rook backed up, so I can check him again. As you can see here, it does result in a trade, but I do get another rook into the game just to like. And then I find some additional checks. I find another check there. I find another check here. There we go. He blocks. Bishop takes g3. I just sacrifice the bishop. Why not? We're already way ahead in the game. Why not? Queen g4. Gotta buy the bishop. It's fine. King h2. Queen h3 check. Again, gotta buy the bishop. The queen's gonna be fine. King g1. And then we have rook to f1 to finish the... You already saw an over-the-board game where I had a bishop lined up like this, and then checkmated him with the rook. You already saw that game. It was like somewhere along here, but you already saw what happened. Very reminiscent of that. So to recap. Oh, sorry. So to recap. This is the structure that we want to go for, and we're supposed to launch a pawn storm through here, supported by the knight, and then once the pawns get into positions over there, we either bring all of the pieces to the king side and just attack through there, or we tuck the king into the queen side and then try to maneuver the pieces from the h8 side of the board, and then diagonally into the queen side like this. I mean, if you once you play this system a couple times, you'll find that the plans play for themselves. And yeah, I mean, I know it's more like a system, but it is very much gambit style. It's not necessarily a system where it's like, it's not necessarily a system with let's just say it like this. It can be played with aggressive intent. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Okay, have fun.